The Microsoft recall feature is still capturing your screen right now, and the FTC can't stop it. Every few seconds on millions of Windows 11 machines, a hidden process fires. It takes a snapshot of whatever's on your screen. Your banking app, your medical portal, your DMs. It reads the text inside those images and files them into a searchable timeline of your entire digital life. Microsoft calls it recall. The Federal Trade Commission opened an inquiry into exactly this kind of surveillance by default data harvesting, and the snapshots are still being taken, right now. This is the audit trail Microsoft doesn't want you to see, and the loophole that lets Recall survive every attempt to kill it. Recall shipped in 2024 as the flagship feature of Microsoft's Copilot Plus PCs. Officially, it exists to solve a small annoyance. You saw something once, you can't find it again. So Recall photographs your screen continuously, runs on-device AI to read the pixels, and builds a local database you can search in plain English. Microsoft's pitch was convenience, a photographic memory for your computer. But a photographic memory of your entire screen means a photographic memory of your passwords, your prescriptions, your private conversations, captured whether you asked for it or not. When security researchers first got their hands on it, they didn't find a productivity tool. They found a surveillance log with your name on it. Here's what Recall actually does that Microsoft buried in the fine print. It doesn't ask what to capture. It captures everything, indiscriminately, including content inside encrypted messaging apps the moment it's decrypted on-screen. It doesn't just index text. It stores the raw screenshots themselves, thousands of them, time-stamped and searchable, sitting in a folder on your hard drive. Researcher Kevin Beaumont demonstrated the database was, in its original form, unencrypted and readable by any piece of malware with basic file access, no admin rights required. One infostealer script, and years of your screen activity walks out the door. Microsoft had built a tool that didn't just watch you. It kept a permanent, exportable receipt. Regulators noticed fast. Privacy authorities on both sides of the Atlantic flagged Recall as a potential violation of basic data minimization principles, the idea that companies shouldn't hoover up more than they need. The backlash forced Microsoft to delay the launch, strip Recall from the default install, and rebuild it around Windows Hello authentication and disk-level encryption. On paper, that sounds like a win. Regulators pushed, Microsoft folded, problem solved. Except the feature didn't disappear. It got rebranded as opt-in and quietly folded back into Windows updates, and opt-in only works if the toggle stays off. It doesn't always stay off. And here's the part nobody reported. The regulators already knew encryption doesn't fix the core problem. Encrypting the database protects it from a stranger's malware. It does nothing to stop Recall from capturing the screenshot in the first place. The moment content renders on your display, a bank statement, a therapy session over video chat, a signed contract, Recall has already photographed it before encryption ever enters the picture. The FTC's authority covers unfair and deceptive data practices, but Recall runs entirely on device. No data broker, no third-party sale, no interstate transfer in the traditional sense, which means the exact jurisdiction that would let the FTC issue an enforcement action doesn't clearly apply to a feature that never leaves your laptop. That's the loophole, a privacy violation with no data in transit for the regulator to intercept. The FTC can write letters. It can open inquiries. It cannot reach into a local screenshot cache sitting on your own hard drive and switch it off. Microsoft controls the toggle. Microsoft controls the updates. And Microsoft has already shown it will push Recall back onto machines that thought they'd opted out. What this means for you is simple and uncomfortable. If you own a Copilot Plus PC, there may already be a running archive of everything you've looked at and passwords typed into forms before autofill masked them, medical results, private messages, sitting in a folder, waiting for the next Windows feature update to quietly flip it back on. Turning Recall off today doesn't delete what it already captured. It doesn't guarantee the next patch respects your choice. The database persists on your machine, offline, outside the reach of any regulator whose power depends on data crossing a border it never crosses. So who benefits from a surveillance tool the FTC can flag but never actually shut off? Microsoft gets a training pipeline of exactly how real people use real software harvested straight from the device. No consent friction required. The regulator gets a headline about opt-in reform. And you get a folder on your own hard drive you've probably never opened, one that remembers everything you were hoping to forget. If the agency built to protect you can't reach a database that never leaves your laptop, what exactly is stopping the next update from turning your camera back on without asking?